Good morning, everyone. I got an interesting game here that, like I said, every once in a while I'll plug in just when I find things that kind of develop a little bit interesting and are a little bit fun. So this is a talk into a two-ocean-y type of thing, I guess, kind of, sort of. But before we go there, I'm going to put a fast plug. I'm going to come right back to this game, but I'm going to put a fast plug. We are concluding our sign-ups for the Club Teams Season 4. I'm probably going to have to extend them because I forgot I'm going on vacation for the next week, and I'm not sure if I'm going to have access to do the off-season, so we might have an extension, but don't hesitate. Go now, today, and sign up for a team. I'm going to put down in the comments section, I'm going to put or description section, I'm going to put a link to the Discord server, an invite, and then a link that goes to the sign up for the teams. This is, I'm throwing in here. So here is a list of our current roster of players. We are looking for a few more players so that we can round out a couple players that had to go. We do have some new players joining us, but at the same time, we need just a couple more. So I'm looking for people, and I'm just going to say the level of play, it goes from Black Tide, who currently is the number one. So I've got everybody's highest ranking, most recent ranking in Axis and in Allies. I actually looked these up. This was about a week ago, so the data is just a little bit old because Black Tide is now currently the number one Axis and number one Allies player. With a lot of these green here are top 20 finishes. So you can see we've got lots of different top 20 people who finished in the top 20. And all of this, essentially right here, 30-ish players or so, are double platinum level players. So very good strength, but don't worry. I'm not going to put people's names on here for the lower part, but we go down and we've got very solid gold level players. And if that's not you, if you're a beginner, don't worry. We have plenty of silver and bronze and new players as well. Every team generally has one. That's a different one, and it still allows the games to be competitive. So if you're not familiar, it is 5 players on a team. They play a series of games against another team. The different games are worth different amounts of points. And then the team with the most points at the end of those games being played wins the match. And you go through basically a 3-game season and then a little playoff. And you play one game where it's just you versus one of the players on the other team of equal level. And then you play one game where you are a part of either the Allies team or an Axis team. So all 5 players, there's 5 different players playing in that game. And the goal is to get those 2 games done in a month. And then you go on to the next match. So, absolutely love it. Lots of communication. A lot of the teams, I think all the teams, create their own little mini Discord server just for team communication so they can talk and strategize. It's a great way to see other strategies, even for top players. I've been on 3 different teams as I float myself around. I've been on 3 different teams and playing with some different players and learned some interesting strategies. Some of my favorite times is when I was on the same team as Johnny A, and he's regularly been one of the top Axis players. So I played on the Allies team, but I was just watching this conversation, seeing how he thinks in it. So. Fun stuff, interesting stuff. Check out the comments down or the description down below, and think about joining one of the teams. You do need to sign up quickly though, because we are closing the sign up soon. So with this game here, it's a KGF, as you can see. I'm a little bit. It's round 7. I'm a little bit slow getting into the Mediterranean. I think I went into the Mediterranean and I came back out. I can't. Some of the games I start to get a little bit blurry in my head. He did have 4 Japan bombers and a number of fighters, and that was, when Japan has a lot of air, a lot of times I got to shift over to a primary Finchuck, but he did a big air raid on one of my stacks and lost some of his bombers, so now I'm entering the Med. So it's a late Med Shuck added into it, but you can see we've got 6, 7, 8, 9 transports going for U.S., so not bad. We got some stacks going here. We're getting ready to do some attacks here. Because of what we're doing on the other side of the map, the UK hasn't. I couldn't fill all 4 of my transports, which I don't normally run 4 transports. They happen to live, and so I had them. So this is what's going on here. Russia's holding their own on the front, and at this point, it's kind of tough for Germany to leave Karelia, or else they're going to give up Karelia to come down to West Russia or Arch. So that frees up Russia to help the UK. So I call it a two-oceany, but it's more like my Indian Ocean fleet versus a pack fleet. So, over the time, as you guys know, I start with 1 sub, but I built up 4 subs. We got 4 fighters. We got bombers. All these fighters and bombers I built, they're going to repay themselves. They'll do work back on the land as when we decide to give this up. But as you can see, I've been able to push his fleet back into the 6062, which then allows me to move into Burma because I have 36 dead zones. So his sub, carrier, 3 destroyers, cruiser, battleship, even with 2 fighters on there, doesn't compare to my 4 subs, 4 fighters, 3 bombers, and a carrier. I'm actually going to be building a destroyer this turn. Just to add a little to it. Now, yeah, I've spent some money on some boats here as well, but we're already, because of his bomber build and him having to build some extra destroyers, his unit count and then his grounds all the way back here, instead of being, 1 step closer to Moscow, he's starting to feel the pinch of not having the units as Russia's able to push back on them, since Germany's kind of pinned a little bit. So Germany could come to West Russia, but then that's going to allow the US, UK to go into Karelia and hold that, and he won't be going back into Karelia. And then Russia can always just come back. And so I'm kind of flexing back and forth, wherever I need to go, and not just being hard stuck on one side or the other with Russia. But this is going to allow me, so this turn, I'm going to be able to do this. I'm going to be able to come and take Borneo this turn. And this is because these fighters, they can't reach. None of his boats can reach, so I'm perfectly safe down here. Like I said, I've got 36, C-Zone 36 dead zone, so he will be able to go back to C-Zone 61 as these guys return. So what I did is I took advantage of his fleet that was doing the circuit going around to Pearl and Australia and kind of wedged myself between the two, so now he's had to work them back. But now they're going to get back. Unfortunately, I had a shot at his battleship with a sub and bomber, which is, odds are on my favor. Not much, but they're on my favor. But unfortunately, both mine missed on the first attempt, and his battleship hit, so I just had to retreat my bomber. But it would have been really awesome if I could have killed his bomber, or his battleship, when it was out by itself. Nonetheless, he'll be able to come to 61, and he'll be able to stack 61. I thought about building, I could have built like 2 fighters and a bomber or something like that in India again, and actually dead zone 61 even with all of this, and 4 fighters, 3 fighters. But I decided it was more important to get some more units going back over there on the Atlantic side, and I'm going to be able to do enough damage here and slow Japan up enough as is. They've already spent 16 extra IPC on destroyer, or 24, maybe 24 extra IPC on destroyers. So I've gained 24 IPC back. We're going to take this. He's not going to be able to get it back another turn, so I'll get it yet another turn. So I'm going to have this for 2 turns. He's going to lose it for a turn, so that's a 12-point swing there. So he's built 24 more, getting a 12-point swing there. He goes into 61. I got my destroyer. I can go to 36 with the destroyer block as I come down to DEI. And then, sure, he takes this, and then I can loop around to Australia, New Zealand, and I can just make him chase me again right back through this. But then I'm going to have this for 2 turns and him having it gone. So that's another 12 IPC swing. So this is 24 IPC swing up here, 24 up here. So that's up to 48. Plus, we're now getting this whole, the peninsula here. So this is, 3 this turn and next turn. So there's another 54, 56, 57, 58, 59. He can't go into season 36 recapture this. So this whole play, now I'm up to 60 plus IPC value out of the play, and all of mine is going to be usable elsewhere other than, I've spent 24 IPC here and 21, so 45 plus the destroyer, so 53 on boats. Now they'll still be usable elsewhere. They're not as effective. The bombers and fighters, like I said, they're going to be helping the ground land. So I've spent 53-ish IPC on boats that are still going to be effective too. Like I said, we're not even using that this isn't their only value, and we're getting 60 plus value out of it. The other part of that you can't put in money is the timing effect, right? So his timing is being affected because he's not landing here and hitting 3 spots to Russia. He's now 1, 2, 3, 4 spots over. He's put back a turn by having to drop units back here. So timing gets thrown off. The value is already paid. Is paying itself back as we start taking it to him, and this is going to just slow him down more as he has to take his transports that are normally shucking to come retake things. So this is just another example of how things go. Now, in all clarity, this game there was I forget what exactly happened, but he did lose a couple of his fighters to an AA, I believe, or something or other. So he is down on his air. So this is allowing me a little more flexible. So now he's down to just 4 Japan air and 3 German air. So now I'm going to really start ramping up the theater on Germany as a result of that, as I can really spread all over the place and hit everywhere. So anyways, I just thought it was very interesting. My version of a 2 ocean, not necessarily being Atlantic Pacific, but Atlantic Indian. And just my goal here isn't so much to kill Japan. It's just to slow Japan, frustrate Japan, create agitation with Japan, while continuing to attack Germany. Kind of like in a KJF, we're attacking over here, but we're going to have a UK fleet over here pestering Germany on the back end. So this is me pestering Japan on the back end while working a KGF on the front end. So, and yeah, doing this did slow, like I said, it slowed this down a little bit, but I'm still satisfied with the fact that I got them pinned in Karelia and they're not in West Russia or Caucasus. So anyways, I thought it was a interesting game board that I would just kind of show how things kind of developed and whatnot. And yeah. All right. Don't forget, go sign up for teams. Join the team. Draft is coming up soon. Sign-ups are closing. Do it now. Don't wait.